Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Coach Walt. It is a privilege, it's my privilege to be here. It's a privilege to be here this morning to present to you the Rqtmi Excel sheet template. But before I proceed, I would like to appreciate our coaches, Coach Small and Coach Salusi, for this opportunity once more. We usually do this every Tuesday, just in case you are new on this call. We usually do this every Tuesday. So like I said, my name is Coach Walt. Please, I want to know if you are new on this call, if this is your very first time to be in this section like this with us, I need a 111 on the chat, please. If this is your very first time of being on this call, I need a 111 on the chat so I can know my newbies, I can know my first timers, so we can be able to relate. Queen Happiness, you're welcome. King VC, you're welcome. If this is your first time of being on this platform, I need a 111. Queen Informa, you're welcome. Okay, I can see I have my 111. Please, I want you guys to pay attention. Today's topic is specifically for you guys that are new here, for you to have an understanding of what we do here. So this is a practical skill you are going to learn. So just pay attention. If possible, you can take your writing materials to jot down important information. And in the course of the section or at the end of the section, you can decide to drop your questions and I will attend to every one of your questions. So today we are going to be treating, if you are seeing my screen, please, I need the word C on the chart. If you are seeing my screen, I need the word C on the chart. King Matthew, good, thank you. Thank you, Coach Fahad. Mr. Moni, Zaza, thank you. Thank you for the response. Coach King, thank you. So without further ado, I'd like to present to you the Rqtmi Excel sheet templates. When I say Rqtmi, the meaning of Rqtmi is Rqtmi Motion International. So I want you guys to understand, the newbies here, I want you guys to understand that in Royal Q, we have different teams under Royal Q. We have Rqtmi team, we have Team Abasendor, Team Energy, Team Tinker, Team whatever, different team. And each of these teams, they have their style of doing things. They have their own style of trading. They have their own style of analysis. They have their own style of doing things. So whatever team you belong to or you find yourself, stick to their own style of trading. Rather than you jumping from one team to another, know your team, know the strategy, know their settings, and stick to it. That is what I have to say before I proceed. So today, this is the dashboard of Rqtmi Motion International. So when we tell you that the robot is a semi-automated robot, for you to have control and ownership over it, because we are in the phase of the internet, the third phase of the internet, which is Web 3.0. And what does Web 3.0 preach about? It preaches about ownership to data, ownership and control to whatever you have online. So if you don't have ownership and control to whatever you have online, then I'm sorry, you're missing out of the agenda for Web 3.0. So today we are here to open your mind. So open your mind to learning. So today we are going to be talking about this interesting topic. the Rqtmi Excel sheet template. Now, when we say your boat is a semi-automated robot, the idea is for you to have control and ownership to whatever the boat does for you. Meaning, the manner at which the robot is going to buy and sell for you, you are going to give that boat that instruction, that command. So while you are sleeping, while you are eating, while you're going about your 8 to 5 job, your robot is going about the instruction you have given to it. So you don't need to bother yourself. It is based on that instruction your robot is going to use and trade for you. So now we are here to teach you about the instruction, how it works. This Excel sheet template you have been seeing or you are seeing right now has been tested and proven over time. Since 4 years, 2021 till date, this is what we have been using and we have been getting results from it. So if you are coming on board and you trust the process and you make use of this same Excel sheet template that we have been using, definitely you're going to get your own results. So this is what the dashboard looks like. On the dashboard, you will see that we have what is called Rqtmi Magic 1 down to Rqtmi Magic 8. But today we are going to be going to lay emphasis on Magic 1, Magic 3, and Magic 5. That is what we are using this period. And why are we using Magic 1, Magic 3, and Magic 5? It's because the crypto market has 2 seasons. There's what you call, there's what you call the bear season, and there's what you call the bull season. The bull season. Now, each of these seasons lasts for a period of 4 years. Each of these seasons. So currently, we are in the bull season. So because we are in the bull season, we have a settings for the bull season. So for the bull season, we make use of Rqtmi Magic 1, 3, and 5. But when it comes to the bear season, we are going to change this setting and switch over to Magic 4, 6, 7, and 8 thereabouts. So that is why you have this Rqtmi Magic 1 down to Magic 8. So focusing on Magic 1, 3, and 5. Now, if you look at Magic 1 says it covers for 30% dip. Magic 3 says it covers for 25% dip. And Magic 5 says it covers for 50% dip. Now, you might be wondering, what is the meaning of this dip? Now, for you to use any of this magic, take note, it depends on your trading capital. So each of this magic works with a particular trading capital. So for instance, if you have minimum of $320, you make use of Magic 1. If you have minimum of $100, you make use of Magic 3. And if you have minimum of $500, sorry, you make use of, $520, you make use of Magic 5. So depending on your capital, that is what will determine the settings you are going to use. So for people with $100, stick to Magic 3. If you have 320, stick to Magic 1 settings. And if you have 520, stick to Magic 5 settings. So then what does this covers for 30% dip means? Now, this is what it means. The Royal Q boat works in a manner that it takes advantage. We trade on the spot market because it understands that the crypto market moves up and down, up and down. It does not just move up like this. It goes up and goes down. So the Royal Q boat is taking advantage on the movement up and down to make profit for us. So when you have a capital, let's assume you are using Magic 1. What it means is you are using 320 to trade. Now, when they say it covers for 30% dip, it means that if your trade has dipped by minus 30%, what it means is that the entire 320, the entire $320 has been spread across different levels by your settings. Let's assume that the entire 320 was spread across these different levels. So for it to be exhausted, for your 320 to be exhausted across this different level, what it implies is that that particular coin has dipped by minus 30%. So at that point, it has dipped by minus 30%. You don't need to panic. All you need to do is wait patiently. As the price starts going up, it starts selling across this different level and start giving you your profit across this different level. I hope that is clear. The same applies to Magic 5, Magic 3 covers for 25% dip. What it means is that if you are using $100 to trade and you engage your robots to trade for you, as the price starts dropping, as the market starts dropping in price, it buys across these different points like this. So when the market has dipped by minus 25%, what it implies is that your entire $100 have been spread across these different levels. Now, all you need to do is wait patiently. As the price starts going up, it starts selling across these different levels and start giving you profit across these different levels as well. The same applies for Magic 5. Magic 5 is for 520 and it covers for 50% dip. So minus 50%, when we say dip, it means negative, minus. So what it means is for the market to dip to minus 50%, it means that your 520 was spread across these different levels to this point. Now, all you need to do at this point is wait patiently. As the price starts going up, it starts selling at this different level and start giving you your profit. That is what the dashboard is trying to communicate here. Last week's section, I talked about Magic 3 and how it works. Today, I'm going to be treating Magic 1. Then next week, I'm going to treat Magic 5. For those of us who were here last week, they can attest that we treated Magic 3. So today, I'm going to Magic 1. So pay attention. When you come down here, you see Magic 1 template. I click on Magic 1 template. And it brings out the template in this manner. So now you see all these parameters here, all these parameters, we call them configuration. It is these settings that you are going to compute into the robot, one-time computation into the robot. Based on these settings, the robot will be buying and selling for you while you are sleeping, while you are eating, while you are going about the day. But it is also important to understand what each parameter signifies, what it does, the functions. That is where the knowledge and the skill comes in. So what we are telling you, attend Zoom sections to learn these basic things. It doesn't take you more than 3 minutes to compute this one-time computation on your Royal keyboard. It is not time consuming. So I will proceed. Now you have the Rqtmi Magic 1, which says minimum of 320. Now when we say minimum of 320, it means the least you can use using Magic 1 is $320, down to $519. So when you have from 520, you should be thinking of using Magic 5, which is minimum of 520. But there is what we call risk management. Now, risk management is all about not putting your eggs in only one basket. So I will explain for you. Let's assume as a newbie on this call, you have a minimum capital of 320. We are going to advise you on risk management simply by diversifying your portfolio. So instead of you using 320 to trade only one coin, let's assume the coin is coin A. We are not going to allow you to use your entire 320 to trade on only one coin. Rather, we are going to encourage risk management. And what is risk management? Instead of you trading one coin, we tell you to split this 320 into 3 places. And once you do that, it means each coin will have a total of 1,109 thereabouts, 109, 109 into 3 places. So instead of you using Magic 1 here, because you have split your capital into 3 places, and we said that Magic 3 covers for minimum of $100, meaning you are going to trade 3 different coin A, coin B, and coin C using Magic 3 minimum of $100. That way you have diversified your portfolio. Now, why do we advise this? The crypto space is a marketplace that obeys the law of demand and supply. No individual controls the crypto market. Rather, it is the activities of me and you. So you can't force me and tell me when to buy. I cannot tell you when to sell. So we cannot control each other's actions. So for that reason, you want to diversify your portfolio, because there are times coin A might be taking time to sell. Before you know, coin B have sold out. Then coin C have sold out. Then you go and place coin D, a new coin D and coin E again. Before this coin D and coin A sells out, coin D and coin E sells out, the coin A you've been waiting for will eventually sell out. So while coin D is taking time, coin E must have sold out. So you have options. Unlike when you invest all your capital into coin A, 320, and coin A is taking time to sell because the demand at that moment is low. So that is why we advise risk management, diversifying your portfolio. I hope that is clear. So having said that, let me go to the parameters now. Now on the parameter, we have radical. The risk type is radical. Now, why is risk type radical? Because the crypto market does not just go up like this, neither does it just go down like this. It goes like up, down, to and fro like this. So you want the royalty boat to take advantage of the movement, move in a radical way, take advantage on this zigzag movement to make profit for you. So you want to engage it on radical. You don't want to put it on conservative or steady. So that is why your risk type should be in radical or radical rather. So for the issue of remark refers to your capital you want to use to start your business. which will be in your custody inside your crypto bank account or your Binance bank account, verified Binance bank account, where only you have access to it. No other person, not even royalty. So let's assume for a newbie, you are starting with a minimum capital of 320 and you decide that you want to use the 320 on one coin. So when you come to the remark, listen to me, pay attention to this. When you get to this remark, you don't put the entire 320 here. Excuse me, sorry, I'm trying to edit. Okay. You don't put the entire 320 here. Your entire 320. This is the logic, what you do here. You do 320, the capital in your hand, minus 20. What it is going to give to you is 300. Where is this 20 coming from? The 20 is coming from as a result of this first buying amount, 20. Take note of that. So rather than me putting 320 here, I am going to put 300. So once I compute 300, if you come to this multiple buy-in ratio, you scroll down. Let's scroll down. If you scroll down to this point, you will find out that the total has summed up to 320. So what it's telling you is that this configuration or this setting is for capital of 320. Let's do another example again to create a better understanding. Now let's assume as a newbie you have 480. So remember I said magic 1 is minimum capital of 320. So if you have between 320 to 519, you can make use of magic 1. But it is also important that you do your risk management like I explained earlier. But if you decide you want to use this entire 480 to trade on one coin, when you get to this remark, you don't put this entire 480 inside here. What you do first is 480 minus $20. It will give you $400. No, it will give you $460 rather. So what I will do, I will come to this place. Instead of putting 480, I'll put 460. So let's check our multiple buying ratio. You see that your multiple buying ratio sum up to 480, which is your actual capital you want to use. So it means that the Excel sheet has finally given you a configuration for 480. Meaning this trade, the trade you are going to trade, the coin you are going to trade on, the robot is not going to use more than 480 on that trade. That is what it means. So back to the 320 we are using initially. So I believe this remark aspect is understood. So back to 300 because we are using 320. Now, that is that for remark. Remark refers to your capital you want to use to start your business. Yes. Now, what is first buying amount? Now, first buying amount, I usually like using reality to explain my things. Now, let's assume I have $320 and I want to visit Lagos market. And in that Lagos market, I have a friend in that market. Our shop is shop A. And I have intention to visit other shops. And the number of shops I have intention to visit is from shop 1 to shop 20. There's a particular item I want to buy from all these shops. And let's assume the item is pepper. Pepe is a name of physical product. It's also a name of a cryptocurrency coin. So I believe you guys can relate with that. So I want to buy Pepe. But before I left the house, each time I get to this market, I will always visit my friend's shop based on sentiment, based on friendship sake. I will always buy from her no matter the price. I will patronize her no matter her price. So, but there's something each time I want to leave my house to the market, I already have a fixed amount I am willing to spend in this my friend shop. I'm not willing to spend more than that. I'm not willing to spend less than that. And that fixed amount is $20. So that is the first amount I am willing to spend as soon as I get to the market and get to my friend's shop. So this $20 I'm willing to spend out of this 320 is what is referred to as first buying amount. So first buying amount is the amount the robot will use at the first instant from your 320 to buy. I hope this is clear. Open position double do not enable. What is the implication if you enable this open position double? Let's go again. Now you know I have a fixed amount I'm willing to spend in this my friend shop. And when getting to her shop, I've made up my mind, no matter what she's going to say or he or she is going to say, to whine me on my mumu button to buy more than use more than $20 to buy in her shop, I will never do that. Now, peradventure, I came to her shop and she talked into me, then eventually switch on my mumu button. Before you know, me that had in mind to spend only $20, I had to carry additional $20, making it total of $40 to buy in a shop. So what it means is that I have used $40, I've doubled the initial amount I was willing to use to buy in a shop. So what is the implication? The implication now is I will not have enough money that will take me through shop 1 to shop 20. That is the implication. So if you enable open position double, it means that instead of the robot to use its first buy as 20, it's going to double it and take $40, meaning you will not have sufficient funds that will take you through shop 1 to shop 20. So you don't want that. For that reason, your open position double should be disabled. AI margin call do not enable. What does this mean if you enable it? Remember we said that this is a semi-automated robot. It is semi-automated for you to have control and ownership. Now the control is in these settings you are giving to your robot. Meaning based on this setting is what it is going to use and buy and sell for you. So if you enable AI margin call, what you are telling the robot is, robot, go against this my settings, go against this my configuration. Start buying and selling at your own discretion. We don't want that. Margin call limit refers to the 20 shops that I was talking about. So in royalty, we don't call it shop. We call it margin calls or we call it calls. Now, I'm using the word shop so you can relate. So when you come to royalty or the crypto space, you'll be hearing about margin call limit or margin calls. So it refers to the number of shops I want to visit. So for Magic 1, it is always 20 shops. Your 320 will be spread across. Then opposition take profit ratio. Opposition take profit ratio. I am going to talk about this opposition take profit ratio, 3% later. Remind me of this just in case I forget. Now, opposition take profit callback, please, 0.01. Opposition take profit callback, 0.01. What this means, now, this is a very important features in Rqtmi that cannot be seen in any exchanges. Now, what is the concept or the principle behind the opposition take profit callback? Now, this is it. Let's assume I want to buy pepper, P for pepper. What we do here, we trade on the spot market. And what the spot market simply means is that we buy low and sell high when the price goes up. We don't leverage here. That is why we say we don't lose money. We simply buy low and sell high when the price goes up. Now, let's assume I bought pepper. I want to buy pepper at the price of $5. And I want to sell at the price of $10. Most of you will agree with me that between $5 to $10, there is a profit of $5 I am expecting. Now, because the crypto market does not just move straight, it moves to and fro. So I entered here. This was my entering price at $5. And I was expected to come out here when it gets to $10 to make my $5 profit. Now the market starts going up, down, 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 and suddenly there was a spike. So I was supposed to come out here, but there was a sudden spike like this. I was supposed to come out at this point, but there was a sudden spike. Because of this sudden movement, it was so fast, it was so sudden. The Rqtmi boat could not release my profit of $5 at that particular instant. So for it to release my $5, it means that this spike has to return back by 0.01. Now, at this 0.01 that it has returned back to, let's say this is where we have $12. So from $5 to $10 to $12. Yeah, at this point, it is $12. Now, you will agree with me that between this $10 to the $12, there is a $2 here. Now, because of this sudden spike and a return, a callback by 0.01 to a new price of $12, because of this sudden spike, the robot will now, because of this return, the robot will now decide to release my $5 profit. But this time, it is going to release this $2 alongside with this $5, making a total of $7 profit, as opposed to what I was initially expecting. So that is the function of opposition take profit callback. This cannot be seen in any exchanges. So if you decide not to engage Rqtmi and you decide to go to the Binance platform to trade for yourself, you cannot enjoy this benefit. So for this one is called the buy-in callback. Buy-in callback also uses the same principle as opposition take profit callback. But for buy-in callback, we take advantage of it when we want to buy. Now, let's assume I want to buy pepper at $5. And currently, the price is at $10. So remember, we buy low and sell high. So I was waiting for the price to drop to $5 so that I can enter into the market. So the market, the crypto market started moving this way, up, down, up, down, up, down, and there was a sudden spike. Now, naturally, it was supposed to pick my profit. It was supposed to pick my. the boat was supposed to pick at this entry price of $5. But because of this sudden spike, there has to be a return of 0.01. Let's assume that at the point that this sudden spike returned by 0.01, the price at this level was $4. So rather than your boat picking at this price, it will even buy more cheaper for you. It will pick at $4. So the more cheaper it buys for you, the faster you come out of that trade. So that is the function of buy-in callback. So I believe this is understood. The next online is distributed take profit allocation. If call to the 20th store, which is 1.3%, I am going to talk about distributed take profit allocation alongside with all position take profit ratio. Remind me of these two. Then the next in line is the sub position take profit callback. Now, for the one sub position and for the one all position take profit callback, these two makes use of the same principle. But the difference between them is that this all position take profit occurs, it takes place from my friend shop, the first shop to the fourth shop. That my friend shop, the first shop to the fourth shop. That is where you are going to expect all position take profit callback. For sub position take profit callback, where you are going to experience it is from the fifth shop to the 20th shop. That is where you are going to experience it. That is where you are going to experience it. But they both make use of the same principle, like I explained earlier. I believe this is clear. Then we have strategy period, one shot. Now for strategy period, there's what we call one shot, and there's also what we call circle. Now let me talk about circle first. Circle is for people who does not have enough capital. Sorry, who does not have time, they don't have time at all because of the nature of their work, because of the nature of their business. They don't have time, but they are still looking for other source of income, other streams of income, but they don't have time. So for circle, you are not interested in learning skill. So if you are not interested in learning the skill, you should have enough capital from 13,500K, from 20K, 70K, we have them on this platform. People trading with $100,000, $27,000, we have them on this call. So if you don't have time, you should have money. Now, how does this circle work? If you have, let's say, 13,000 plus, we can pick 25 different coins, solid coins that have their own blockchain, that have strong fundamentals, and they have their own blockchains. Let's say from coin 1 to coin 25, we pick it and divide your 13,500 and something plus, thereabout. I'm not sure of the figure, but I know it's 13,000 plus. Now you inject it into coin 1, coin 2, you split the money, diversify your portfolio into coin 1, coin 2, down to coin 25. Now you take 2% on each of these coins. At the points, and you trigger your trades, the 25 coins are trading for you. They are not there to monitor anything. It's not your concern. So what happens is, as coin 1 sells, the robot will automatically pick it again to trade for you. As coin 2 sells, it will automatically pick it again. So from the word circle, you know it is known as automation or autopilot. So if you don't want to put in the work, if you don't want to learn a skill, we have what works for you, but you should have enough capital to go on automation. Now, having said this, what is the profit like for people using Circle? We say an average monthly profit between 5% to 50% monthly. So what does this mean? It means that if you start, let's assume you started this business in January. Your first month, you made 70% of your capital. The market was up, was pumping. Like I said, it obeys the law of demand and supply. Nobody is controlling it. It is the activities of you and I, the next person. So you cannot force me not to buy when I want to buy. I cannot force you not to sell. So when buyers are more than sellers, when demand is higher than supply, the market tends to pump faster. But when supply, people are selling more than people buying more, the price will drop because the sales will be slow at that point. So in the first month, your 70% of your capital was made because the demand, the market was high. Second month, you have 30% was made of your capital. The third month, you add 50% of your capital. While the fourth month, because the market was down, market probably was down, and you add 0% for that month. So when you add 70 plus 30 plus 50 plus 0, it will give you 150. I think when you divide it by 4 months, let me see the calculation. $150 150 divided by 4. You have $37.5. So what it means is that 37.5% rather, what it means is that on each of the months, the total profit you made was 30 of your capital was 37.5% on each month. That is what is meant by average monthly profit, 5% to 50% of your capital. Then one shot for one shot. One shot is for people who want to learn skill, who want to learn the skill. Probably you have younger ones, you have children, you have relations that you feel it is very important for them to have this skill as a form of empowerment. So you decide to learn this skill so that you can impart it in them. And moreover, you don't have enough capital. Maybe you have a minimum of $100 to start up your business. For someone like this, you need a skill. You need a skill to actually grow this money. So you stick to one shot. So how does one shot work? Let's assume you have $300. Okay, let's assume you have $100, for instance. So the minimum amount you can trade on one coin is $100 at a time. $100 at a time. So if you have $300, $300 can trade you 3 coins at a time. So on each coin you put 100, 100, 100. If you have $200, $200 can trade you 2 coins at a time. On each coin, you have 100, 100, 100. So that is how we do it. Minimum capital you can use in trading each coin is $100. Take note. Nothing less than that. Please take note of that. Now, let's assume you want to learn the skill and you have $300 or you have your $100 and you are trading one coin. Now, if this, and you put it at 5%, if this coin sells out, the robot will not pick this coin for you again because it's on one shot. Rather, you will come and choose another coin based on signal from our group, or either you decide to analyze yourself if you know how to analyze, or you use our simple way of picking coin, which is change percent tactics. You are going to learn about it when you come on board. Now, when coin A sells and you want to trade another coin, you come and pick coin B based on signal from the group or based on analysis. And maybe signal from the group, this signal comes with maybe 10%. So you have already taken 5% of your $100 on this coin. Now you are taking 10%. If this coin eventually sells, they give another signal, coin C, and maybe this one comes with 3%. You take 3% also. You see the way you are changing take profit, unlike the circle that is a fixed take profit of 2%, maybe until you stop the trade again and change that take profit. But if you don't stop it because it's on automation, it will keep on meeting 2% for you. But at one shot, you have the liberty to take different take profit at interval. Now, we usually tell people that if you are trading using one shot, we know this is a very high ticket cost. It is not easy for everybody to even get this 240 to get started. But we say the minimum you can start with is $100. But we usually advise that when you want to trade, it is good you trade minimum coin, 3 coins at a time, minimum. Maximum coin, 10 coins at a time. Now, why do we advise for minimum coin, 3 at a time, as opposed or as against to 1 coin on just $100? Now, if I use an illustration of 2 shops, shop A and shop B, and shop A is selling rice, beans, and garri, while shop B is selling only garri. Between shop A and shop B, who has the chances to sell almost every day? Who has the chances to sell almost every day? It might be that today the demand of garri is low, so coin A will not sell garri, and coin B will also not sell garri. But because demand of rice is high and demand of beans is high, definitely is going to sell that day. The following day, it might be the demand for garri is high. Coin A will sell, coin B will sell. Why the demand for rice and beans is low? So you see that coin A has the chances to sell almost every day. So it is the same principle or analogy that is behind we telling you trade minimum coin 3 at a time, maximum 10. But if you are trading only 1 coin, no problem. No problem. All you need to do is use default settings on it and you will still get results. Definitely. So now I will come back to that default settings, don't worry. Then for 1 shot, what is the profit like for 1 shot? It is an average monthly profit between 5% to 100% of your capital monthly. Now, what does it mean? Let's say the first month you made 80% of your capital. The second month you made 30% of your capital. 30% of your capital. The fourth month you made 50% of your capital. and the 5th month you made 0% of your capital. Now, when you do 80% plus 30% plus 50%, it will give you 160. 160 divided by the 4 months, it will give you 40%. So on each month, you made 40% of your capital. 40% of your capital. 40% of your capital. So please, if you are on this call, whenever I'm having Zoom section, don't private chat me. If you are under my team, please tell other people. You should know when we have Zoom sections. So that is 40% in each of the months. So that is that for strategy period, one shot and circle. That takes me to the next thing on the online. We have margin configuration. From the word margin configuration, configuration means settings, the way something has been programmed to work. So the margin configuration is divided into two parts. We have the margin call drop and we have the multiple buy-in ratio. So I'm going to talk about them individually. Now, if you look at the margin call drop, it says first call, we have first call to the 20th call. So by now you should know call refers to the first shop to the 20th shop, please. Now, going back to my illustration earlier, I have 320, isn't it? Now, this 320, I want to visit Lagos market where I have my friend shop. I want to buy pepper, P for pepper. I also want to visit 20 shops, which refers to as the first call to the 20th call. What I'm willing to spend in my friend's shop is just $20. So if I spend this $20, what will I be left here is $300. This $300, I want to use it to go through these 20 shops. So when I go to the market, immediately I spend this $20. I was left with $300. Now, at what point did I spend this $20? Remember, I said we trade on the spot market. We buy low and sell high. So when I came to my friend's shop, I asked my friend, how much do you sell pepper? She sells her pepper $8. No, I said, no, I cannot buy $8. Let me give you $6. She said, no, let me give you $5. She said, no, let me take it $6. I negotiated. I said, no, I insisted. Let me give you $5. Finally, she accepted. And I bought pepper when the price was at $5 from her shop. That was when I bought pepper using my $20. So how many pieces of pepper was I able to get? If one pepper gave me at $5, it means I bought 4 pieces of pepper with $20. Each one cost me $5 each. So now that I bought at $5, this is the new price at which I bought pepper. Now, going to these 20 shops, there must be something that will trigger me to enter the first shop, this first shop. For I won't just enter the first shop, something must trigger me to enter the first shop. And what is that thing that will trigger me to enter the first shop? Remember, we buy low and sell high. Now, I want to see this price, this initial price of $5 that I bought from my friend's shop to drop by, like, let's say it drops to 4.5. Now, when it drops by 4.5, it will trigger me to enter the first shop. So that dropping in 4.5 to 4.5 means that the price have dropped by 0.2%. As soon as the price, this $5 drop by 0.2%, which is now giving me a new price of 4.5, it will trigger me to enter the first shop. When I enter the first shop, remember I will use a particular amount from this 300 to enter the first shop. But at the moment, I don't know how much. Just like I knew I was going to use $20 there. But when I entered the first shop, I didn't know how much I was going to use inside the first shop. But I just needed a signal that would make me enter the first shop. And that signal means that this $5 has to drop in price by 0.2. So when it dropped in price by 0.2, the new price became 4.5. So I entered the first shop. Now I'm waiting for a signal to enter the second shop. Now, for me to enter the second shop, this new price has to drop by 0.5. Let's assume a drop in 0.5 gives me a new price of $4. As soon as the price drops from 4.5 to $4, I will enter the second shop. Then comes the third shop. For me to enter the third shop, I need the current price, which is $4, to drop by $0.2. Let's assume it's a drop in $0.2 gave me 3.8. For me to enter the fourth shop, I need this current price to drop by $0.5. Let's assume I drop on $0.5 gives me 3.5. That is how you keep entering from shop 1 to shop 20 as the price is dropping by 0.2, 0.5, 0.2, 0.5. That is how the robot will be using your money to buy across these different shops. So that is the idea of margin call drop. So by the time the robot buys down to the 20th call, by the time it buys down to the 20th call, it means that takes me back to my dashboard. For those who were here, that I said it covers for 30% D. Look at the 30% D. So back to magic one. So as soon as it dips by 20%, it's as soon as it buys to the 20th shop, what it means is that coin or that market has dipped by minus 30%. So it means that it has spread your money across from the first shop to the 20th shop. So 100% of your capital is already inside that trade, which I was trying to explain at the dashboard section. So your entire 320 has been spread across from the first buy, which is 20, down to the 20th shop. At that point, you say the coin has dipped by minus 30%. Now, you don't need to panic. You don't need to panic at this point. Now, that is margin callback. So we are going to come back to it to know what is going to happen next that you have used all your money to buy. But now the question now is, at all these shops, how much was he using from your money as the price was dropping? As you were entering all these shops, how much was he using from your money at each shop it enters? Then to know that you need the help of multiple buying ratio is very simple. For the first shop, remember my friend shop is $5. When it drops by 4.5, it enters the first shop. So how much did he use in the first shop? It's simple. Just simply 0.3 times your first buying amount. What is your first buying amount? Which is 20, the amount I'm willing to spend in my friend shop. That is the first buying amount. So 0.3 times 20, I think will give me $6. So when I've used 20 from this 320, I'm left with 300. So entering into the first shop, what I'm going to take from this 300 is $6. So what will be left is 284 that will be left. Now, this 284, I'm waiting to use part of it to enter into the second shop. Now, as soon as the price drops from 4.5 to 4.0, it triggers me to enter into the second shop. Now, at the second shop, how much am I going to use from my 284 that is left? It's simple. Just 1.2 times 20. 1.2 times 20. Give me 24 equals to $24. So it means use $24. So when you do 280 minus 24, it will give me 260. So I'm left with 260. Now from that 260, that is how it buys. So here we find out it is $6. Here is $24. The next one is also $6, $4. The next one is $6. So that is why it will be using $6, $24, $6, $24. By the time you sum everything, both the first buying amount, which is 20 plus 6 plus 24, you sum everything, the total will sum up to 320. So by the time it has bought from the first shop to the 20th shop, it means your total capital is already inside the trade, which is $320. So at that point, it is known as what we call floating loss. Floating loss is not a real loss. I'll explain. Now, when you are now on a floating loss, as the price start going up, now that will bring me to this back, please. This is going to bring me to this distributed take profit from 5th call to 20th call, 1.3%. Position take profit ratio, 3%. So I'm going to use this to explain down here now. So when it get, as soon as it has bought to the 20th shop, it means that that coin has dipped by minus 30%. At that point, you are on a floating loss. Floating loss is not a permanent loss. Take note of that, please. That is why we ask you to watch those videos. Very important. Now, when the price start going up, remember here it was $24 we used in buying. This side was $6. Here it was $24, $6. That is how it was buying, 24, $6. Now, as the price is going up, once it gets to the 20th call, it will sell the 20th call as individual, give you what? It will give you all position. This is 1.3% of $24 he used in buying the 20th call. As soon as the price gets to the 19th, it will sell 1.3% of what he used in buying in the 19th call. As soon as the price gets to the 18th call, it will sell 1.3% of what he used in buying in the 18th call. When it gets to 17, 1.3% of what he used in buying it. 16, 1.3% of what he used in buying it. 15, 1.3% of what he used in buying it. You are waiting for the price to get to 14, to sell 14 and give you 1.3% of the price he used in buying in 14. Rather, the price will drop again. As the price drops again from 15, it will buy 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You are waiting for it to buy 20, it will go up again, sell 19, give you 1.3% of what you use in buying 19. Go up again, sell 1.3% of what you use in buying 18. Go up again, sell 1.3% of what you use in buying in 17. Go up again, sell 1.3% of what you use in buying in 16. Go up again, sell 1.3% of what you use in buying 15. Go up again, sell 1.3% of what you use in buying in 14. 13 the same thing, 12 the same thing, 11 the same thing, it gets to 10 the same thing. You are waiting for it to sell 9 and give you 1.3% of the amount you used in buying at 9. The price will drop again. It will come down, buy 10 again, buy 11, buy 12, buy 13, buy 14, buy 15. It will go up again, sell 15, sell 14, sell 13, sell 12, sell 11, sell 10. Then it will go up again, sell 19, 9 rather. It will sell 9. Give you 1.3% of what you use in buying 9. Say 8, give you 1.3% of what you use in buying 8. Sell 7, give you 1.3% of what you use in buying 7. Sell 6, give you 1.3% of what you use in buying 6. Sell 5th, give you 1.3% of what you use in buying 5th. So you are expecting it to go and sell 4. The price will drop again. It will buy 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9. The price will go up again to sell 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5, 1.3%. Now, this between this 5th call and the 6th call, it is that distributed take profit allocation from 5th call. 5th call. This is it, 1.3% you are experiencing. We call it is making money for you even while the coin is down, while the market is down. What it means is that you have been making money downtrend. It's taking advantage on those volatility up and down, and it has been making money for you downtrend even while the coin is down. No exchange can do this for you. If you decide to trade on Binance, you cannot experience this. You cannot still be making money while the coin is down. So that is what Rqtmi does for you. So eventually, you now get to the 4th call. Now, once it gets to the 4th call, remember from 5th call to the 20th call, it has been selling them as individual. But once it gets to the 4th call, it combines the 4 call, the amount you use in buying 4, which is 24, the amount you use in buying 3rd, which is 6, the amount you use in buying 2nd, which is 24, the amount you use in buying 1st, which is 6, and that 1st buying amount, that is from my 1st shop to the 4th shop, it combines them together, totally together as one entity, and gives you this whole position take profit, 3%. This whole position take profit, 3%. So meaning that trend, you must have made like $5, for instance. Let's use while you were waiting, you have made already $5. Then uptrend, when it now finally gets to 4, it combines 4 to the 1st call and gives you 3%. Maybe 3% of the total amount was giving you another $6. So total money you ended up making on that coin, on that market, is $11. Is $11. So now, as soon as it steps from 4th call to the 1st buy, which is 20, it closes the trade, it ends the trade, closes the trade, and gives you your profit. So that period, you were experiencing this short-term downtrend, you were waiting for it to get to the 4th call to sell and close the trade. That period you were experiencing this money downtrend is the waiting period, is the patience we talk about. That crypto requires patience. That is the patience we talk about. But for some people in the crypto space, trading on the crypto exchanges, the patience while you are waiting, that time that the coin is down, while you are waiting, you are not seeing anything downtrend. Take note of that. This is what I just explained now, is known as the default settings of Rqtmi. Is known as the default settings of Rqtmi. When I mean default setting, this is the natural way Rqtmi is expected to operate. This is the natural way, the default way Rqtmi is expected to operate. Now, we have 2 types of settings. We have the default settings, we have the bull tactics. We have the default settings and we have the bull tactics. Let me write well. Default settings, we have the bull tactics. Bull tactics. Bull tactics. This bull tactics is used for bull season. Now, for default setting is the natural way. Once you put up your settings, you engage your robot to buy, to start trading for you. Go and sleep. It will buy by itself. You don't need to do any other thing to start buying and selling for you in the default way. So, but for bull tactics, it requires a skill also. Now, the idea of bull tactics, under bull tactics, we have 2 categories. We have category 1 and category 2. But I am going to talk on category 1 today. Now, for category 1, boot tactics category 1, what does it mean? It means that you are not interested in substance making money downtrend, this 5th call to the 20th call. You are not interested in it. So the idea of boot tactics category 1 is that you want 100% of your capital to be from the first my friend shop to the 4th call. That is the first buying amount, first call, second call, third call, and 4th call. Take note, first buying amount is different from first call, second call, third call, and 4th call. So you want from that first buying amount to the 4th call, let 100% of your capital be inside the trade. Now, 100% of your capital, what I use is 320. It means from that first buy to the first call. So when the boat takes the first $20, what is left is 300. You want the entire 300 to be inside here, which is total of 320. So you are not interested in this subset. Now, for you to do that, you saw from the natural calculation, here was 6, here was 24, here was 6, here was 24. So if we do addition, 24 plus 24 is 48. 48 plus 6, that is 54. 54 plus another 6, that is 60. 60 plus the first by which is 20, that is 80. So what it means is that naturally, from first call to the 4th call, it's $80 you have inside here. So now, how possible is it to now manipulate it to have $320 inside here? So that is what we want to show you now, how to do that. Now, why would you want to do that? Now, because if you look at this place, you have from first buy to the 4th call, which is $80. Total of everything inside $80. Let's assume that you are using default settings and the robot buys from first call to the 4th call. And you know it takes from first call to the 4th call as one entity. Let's assume that the boat fails to come to 5th call to buy. The market went up, the demand was high, the market went up, and it just went up straight. Out of your 320 that you have, the only amount you used was $80, and the market went up straight and do 3% of $80. 3% of $80 should be giving you about 2 point something dollars. Meaning that the robot did not even use a better part of your capital inside the trade. So in bull season, you experience things like this, where the boat will just buy first call, second call, third call, 4th call, and it will go and sell. Sometimes you buy after your first buy, you buy first call, second call, it will go and sell. So if you continue in this way, it means that the boat will end up not using a better part of your capital, and you will keep on making small money or profits. At that point, it will not be encouraging for you. So that is why you need to learn these bull tactics. But yet, the bull tactics also have its disadvantage. Just as you are seeing the disadvantage of default setting. The disadvantage of default setting is, peradventure, the coin did not dip for it to buy use more of your money so that it can give you more profit downtrend, and it buys to this 4th call where you just have only $80 out of the 320. It will not give you enough profit. So when you in situation where you are experiencing this kind of thing, the next thing to do is to apply bull tactics category 1. Now, where you have 100% of your capital from the first buy to the 4th call, which is 320. So how is that possible? It is possible through what we know as manual replenishment. We call it manual replenishment, or we call it manual buy. So from the word manual, it means that we are trying to force a particular money into the robot as against the robot switch. That is the control that we have over it. So from time to time, we can manipulate it. But for you to be able to manipulate it, you need the skill to do that, which is why we are telling you that you need to learn how to use the boat. That is why I can be using 320 and you are using the same 320. You are using 320 to make $2, $3. I'm using the same 320 to make $20, $18, $15. What is the difference between me and you? Is the knowledge I have on using the boat. I have an advantage. I know how to manipulate it, the skill. So that is what we are trying to teach here today. So why do you do this manual replenishment or manual buy? You don't just put in any amount from your 320 into the robot because you want that from first call to the fourth call, you want to be seeing the entire 320 here. You don't just force any amount. So how do you do it? First step to do your manual replenishment is to know how much you want to force inside the trade. And to do it is step one, you will come to this fifth call. You will lock it by removing this 0.2, put 50%. Yeah. What you are telling the robot is, robot, when you buy from first call to fourth call, don't trigger buy for fifth call until the price dips by 50%. Currently, we are in the bull season. It's almost difficult for a coin to dip by 50%. So that is why you are locking it at fifth call. Fifth call, you are saying you are not invested in subsell. This is where you enjoy small profit downtrend from the fifth call. So you have locked it. So you are telling the robot, buy from only first buy to fourth call. So the first step, you lock your fifth call using 50%. Second step two, don't mind my writing, you come to the multiple buying ratio. Because you have locked it at fourth call, what you are considering the multiple buying ratio of the first call, second call, third call, and fourth call. So what are you going to do with them? You summation of the multiple buying ratio of the first call to the fourth call, which is 0.3 plus 1.2 plus 0.3 plus another 1.2. So 0.3 plus 1.2, which will give me 1.5. 1.5 plus 0.3, which will give me 1.8. 1.8 plus 1.2 will give me $3. I think 1.8 will give me $3, which is total of $3. $3. That is step two. Step three, add plus one. Always add plus one to the answer you got. So 3 plus 1. 3, sorry, this is not dollar, sorry, just 3. 3 plus 1. Now, why are you adding plus 1? Plus 1 is constant. That plus 1 is the position that my friend's shop is occupying, or is the position the first buying amount on the Excel sheet is occupying. One position, which is plus 1. So 3 plus 1 will give me 4. Step 4, you multiply your answer, that is that 4, by your first buying amount. What is your first buying amount? Which is 20. So 4 times 20 will give me 80. Now, once you have this 80, step 5, please take note of step 5. You now consider the capital you are using. You are using 320. You now say 320, the capital you are using, 320 minus 80, which will give me what? 320 minus 80, which will give me 240, which will give me $240. Now, this $240 is what I am going to use as my manual replenishment. This $240 is what I am going to force inside the boat. So that is how to calculate your manual replenishment. So if I lock it at fourth call, put 50% at the fourth call, it means that I will only consider the multiple buy ratio of the first call, second call, and the third call. If I lock it at the third call, which is 50, I'll only consider multiple buying ratio of the first call to the second call. That is what I am going to do. So this 240 is what is known as your manual buy or manual replenishment, is what you are going to force inside the robot. Now the question is, at what point are you going to force this money? So this calculation, this step is what you are going to use irrespective of any capital you are using. Just follow this step. Once you compute the right capital, it will give you the right configuration. So once you have the right configuration, if you follow this step, you can get your manual replenishment if you want to do good taxes category 1. So now that you have 240 for your manual replenishment, how will you now make use of it? At what point will you inject it into the trade? Now let's assume that these settings, you have computed these settings into your robots. It's a one time. Once you compute it, you save it. Once you save it, you don't need to come back to this Excel sheet again. Now, let's assume that your robot has picked the $20 and it picked it when the price of pepper was at $5. So the next price you are waiting for the boat to buy again is the first shop. And that means, and when you buy at the first shop, the price needs to drop to $4.5 for it to buy at the first shop. Now, between this $5 and $4.5, there is 4.8, there is 4.9, there is 4.7. So once your robot picks this first $20, immediately the price drops from $5 to 4.9 or 4.8. Anyhow, before it gets to this first shop, you want to inject, you want to force that $240. Take note of that. You don't force this $240 when the first price you bought is high. You don't force it when this $5 gets to $6, no, or 5.5 or 5.9. You force this, do your manual replenishment when this $5 drops by 4.9, 4.8, 4.7 before it buys in this first shop. And if you were not fast enough, and it drops from this $5 down to this first shop and it has already bought in this first shop, you can still do your manual replenishment. But this time, if you want to do your manual replenishment, you should do it cheaper than 4.5, at least before it buys the second shop. So you want to force it at 4.6. So that is how to do manual replenishment, because the cheaper you buy, the faster you come out of the market. So that is how to do manual replenishment. Now, because of time, I would have loved to show how, because of time, excuse me, please. Please, someone is at the door. Let me check who is that. Yes. Sorry about that, please. So by the time you do your manual replenishment, when he buys the 220, you inject 240 into it. Total money inside that trade at that point now, total money inside that trade at that point is now $260. Let's assume that if the price did not drop for it to come and even buy at the first shop any longer, and it just goes up straight to give you 3%. Now check out 3% of 260. 3% of $260, 3% of $260 $260 will be giving you 7.8 as opposed to what the default settings was giving you, which is 2.8. So you see why we do the bull tactics, so that just in case the price did not come further and it goes to sell, you are going to make more money. So that is the skill. But like I said, it also has its own disadvantage. So by the time it makes use of 260, the remaining $60 is what is going to use in buying first shop, second shop, third shop, down to the fourth shop. That is that. Then what is the disadvantage of this bull tactics? It also has its own disadvantage, and I will talk about it. Now, remember, the idea is that you want 100% of your capital to be from first call to the fourth call. You want to be seeing 320, and you have locked your fifth call to be 50%. Now, let's assume that after the robot has bought from first call to the fourth call, and the price is still going down, and eventually it gets to the fifth call, and it has dipped by 50%. At that point, the robot would want to trigger to buy more. But because you have used 100% of your capital, you don't have any more money to buy further. At that point, the robot will trigger insufficient funds. So it is either you top up funds for it to continue buying at the fifth call. But in situation whereby you don't have any extra funds anywhere, all you need to do is to wait patiently. That time it has dipped by 50%, you are on a floating loss already. So floating loss, like I said, is not a permanent loss. All you need to do is wait patiently. As soon as the price returns back, it will sell and give you 3% of your 320. But the difference between these bull tactics and default settings is that, remember, in default settings, while you were waiting, you were still seeing small money downtrend. But in bull tactics, while you are waiting, you are not going to see money downtrend. So that is why we advise you, if you are trading 2 coins at a time, put one on default settings, put one on bull tactics. If you are trading 4 coins at a time, put 2 on default settings, put 2 on bull tactics. So there is no how you will not see result. If you are trading 3 coins at a time, depending on how patient you are, if you are not a patient person, put 2 on default settings, put 1 on bull tactics. If you are a very patient person, put 2 on bull tactics, put 1 on default settings. Whichever way you are going to get results, all you need to do is follow simple instruction. We have been here and we are telling you based on experience. So at this point, I think I've said everything. Because of time, I would like to stop here and attend to few questions. So this is how the Excel sheet template works for you while you are sleeping. To compute this into your Royal Cube board does not take more than 3 minutes. And once you have computed it, like for 320, you save it. You don't need to come to this Excel sheet again to do the same thing for 320. Except you want to migrate to 520. You can now go to Magic 5 to set up your 520 just the way you set up your 320. And once you save your 520, you don't need to go back again. Then if you want to increase your capital, because I say Magic 5 is minimum of 520 to any amount. If you want to increase your capital, just go to your initial settings on your board. You see where you click on edit. Once you click on edit, just put the new figure on this Excel sheet. It will bring a new template for you. The only thing you are going to adjust is your multiple buying ratio. Every other thing is still the same. You are just going to change this style, this multiple buying ratio. It's as simple as that. And change the new amount, the remark on the new amount. It's as simple as that. So I think I've been able to communicate value in this
Sorry, guys, I think network threw him out, so just hold on. He'll be back shortly, okay? If you have any question, please drop it on the chat box.
Sorry about that. I had a network issue. Sorry about that. Please. So that is that about I was about saying something that make sure that when you are doing your manual replenishment, you are buying cheaper than the initial price it has bought. Take note of that. So Queen Linda said, as a newbie, how can we know how much to force into your margin call after you buy? I've just did the calculation for you. I showed you people the calculation. Go back to the recorded section. Take your time and watch it. I just did the calculation for you, how to know the actual amount. I've done that just now. That was how we got the $240 that you are going to force into the trade. 240 you are going to force. That is how to know the $240 you are going to force into the trade. So go through the section again. Take your time. I did the calculation step by step. Queen Linda, I hope I've answered your question. If I've answered your question, let me know, please. Then King Williams, if I've answered your question, let me know, please. Coach Fahad, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Coach.
Question? Okay. King William said his own was not answered. Were you listening to me? So what did you say? What did you say? Can you also do manual replenishment at third call? I said yes. You can do manual replenishment at third call. But ensure that when you are doing your manual replenishment, ensure you buy cheaper than the price it's bought at the third call or at the second call. So when it has bought first call, second call, and you are not able to do your manual replenishment and you want to do it before it buys the third call, ensure that the price it bought the second call, you are doing it cheaper than that price. So that is it. So King Williams, I don't know what you want me to explain again. Oh. That is what I've explained to you. If there's any other thing you want me to explain, let them unmute you. Is there any way we can divide this class so that the new intake who does not have any previous knowledge can benefit? Just keep showing up, and King Abel, keep showing up. You will understand. It's not, you see, it's not an automatic something. Nobody expects you to understand at just one instance. We have previous sections of this class. Every Tuesday we do this. So if you show up, there's no how you show up 3 times, you won't understand. There was something I was supposed to do here, but because my second phone was bad, I need a Wi-Fi to do that. I was supposed to show you how to compute these settings into your Royal keyboard and save it. Our next class on Tuesday, I am going to show you how to compute these settings and save that setting. King Joseph, what is your question? Does the call you lock affect the profit and time to come out of the trade? Does it, why are you locking it at first? That is the question. What is your intention of locking it? The intention of locking it at fifth call is because you want to make more money. Because if you look at the default settings from the calculation from first call to fourth call, natural way that the robot will buy, from first call to fourth call, it's only 60. After he buys that $20, which is your first buy, the next first, second, third, fourth call, how much will be inside is $60. 60 plus 20 is $80. So by the time it buys and you have only $80 inside your trade, if that market, the demand of that market was high, it did not go further and you just go up and do your 3% immediately, you are going to get 3% of $80, which is most likely what we are going to experience once you come to the peak of the bull run, which you are expecting any moment. So that will now require you to understand that, okay, if this thing is repeating itself continuously, look at the market trend. The market is up, is repeating itself continuously. That tells you that you should deploy bull tactics category 1, where 100% of your capital will be from first call to fourth call. So that when it goes to do 3% or 5%, it gives you more profit. So as regards to the time, nobody can tell you in particular if your trade is going to come out in the next 1 hour, in the next 30 minutes. No, it depends on the demand of that product. If you have more people buying that product than more people selling it, the price tends to go higher and it tends to eat your take profit faster. Now, the idea of giving you people 3% is just a default take profit. You can decide to take 5%, 10% if you know how to analyze yourself. It is because people don't have patience. People don't have patience. We decide to give them 3%. Those guys in Wall Street, they call them the smart money concept guy, the banks, the BlackRock, Fidelity you hear about. They don't trade within days. They take profit for a long time, months. They can take 30% of billions of dollars. Take 80%, 10%, 20%, 50% of billions of dollars. And they don't mind if it stays for 1 week, 1 month. But it is me and you who are just small traders. We want sharp. We want to come out fast. That is why we are giving you 3%. So depending, when you learn how to analyze your debt, you can decide on your own to either take 3%, 2%, 1.5%, depending on how fast you want to come out of the market. I believe I've answered your question, King Joseph. And King Chamsi said, can the bull tactics apply on trade capital of 100? Yes, you can use the bull tactics on $100 capital. But when you are using $100 capital, remember I said you make use of Magic 3. Now, for Magic 3, for bull tactics, take note, while using Magic 3, it is only category 1, bull tactics category 1 that can work with your $100. Bull tactics category 2 can only work with Magic 1 and Magic 5. But for $100, the only category that can work with your $100 is bull tactics category 1. Take note of that. I have a challenge knowing that it is buying low, so I can trigger bull tactics. It is buying low. Your question is not clear, please. I don't know if you can rephrase that question to the point I can understand. Queen and King Williams, I don't know if you are clear. So what I will tell you, King Ibok, that among these settings, Magic 1, Magic 3, and Magic 1, Magic 3, and Magic 5. The best settings is Magic 5. And why is Magic 5 the best setting, which is minimum of 520? If you are using Magic 5 on default settings, if it buys from first call to the fourth call, you already have 50% of your capital. So 50% of 520 is about 2 something plus is already inside the trade. So even if it does not go down to buy more and it goes up to sell, it will still give you good profit. If it's 3% of 260, if it's 5% of 260, it will still give you profit. And if you use bull tactics, it will even give you more profit. So if you are using default settings, if 260 enter from first call to the 260 plus enter from first call to the fourth call, you're having 2 something left. That 2 something that 2 something will go through from the 5th shop to the 24th shop for you. So either ways, you are going to make good money downtrend and uptrend. So why Magic 5 is good is that 50% of your capital is into from first call to the fourth call. So Magic 5 is better than Magic 1. Magic 1 is better than Magic 3. So to get a faster result, you can want to think of Magic 5. But remember, I told you, if you are using only 520 as your startup capital, we are not going to advise you to use it on one coin. We tell you to diversify your portfolio so that you will not put your eggs in only one basket. So, King Ibok, I think I am, is that clear? Then I will attend to this last question from King Joseph so that we can end the section. How do I know that it is now buying low so I can trigger buy bull tactics or any before it even starts buying? See, you triggering bull tactics or no bull tactics is a decision you need to make before you even start a trade. Now, the question is, you have a capital that is efficient enough to trade for you 2 coins at a time. I just gave you a simple instruction to follow. If you are trading 2 coins, put one on default settings, put one on bull tactics. You don't need to trade, you don't need to start the trade before you make that decision. Now, once you have made a decision that in these 2 coins, you want to use one default settings, you want to use one bull tactics. Now, that one, maybe you have traded the one for default settings. For default settings, as soon as they pick the $20, you don't need to do anything. The rubber will continue from there. But for bull tactics, as soon as they pick the $20, let's say it picked the $20 at the price of $5 of pepper. Now you are waiting for pepper to drop from either $5 to 4.9. Once it drops in price, you can force in that money for your put tactics. Then go to your 5th call and lock it at put 50% to lock it. I hope that is clear, King Joseph. Okay, that is good. So I think if you got value from this section, I need the word value on the chart. Please, if you have gotten value from this section as a newbie, as an old member, if you have gotten value from this section, I need the word value, please. Thank you, King Williams. If you have gotten value from this section, I need the word value. As a newbie, we don't expect you to know everything at once. Everything at once. We don't expect you. King Joseph, you are welcome. Thank you. King Williams, you're thank you. King Kazim, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. King Chamesy, thank you. So I think at this point we are going to wrap it a day. We are going to value, but please use $100 as example. Yes, we made use of $100 last week. So if you were in this section when we started, I stated that fact that we made use of $100 last week. This week we are going to make use of 320. Next week we are going to make use of 520. Then the other week we are going to come back to $100. But if you want to if you want to go through the video, go to our YouTube channel, Rqtmi Motion International. You will see the last week Tuesday section on $100 explanation. You can go and watch it and you'll get a better understanding as well. I hope it is clear, VCs. On how to analyze is every Friday. Every Friday on how to analyze. Every Friday, please. So I really appreciate your time for making our time to be here. It's a pleasure. We started with a reasonable number. Not everybody can wait in this section. Do have a lovely day ahead of you. Do have a lovely day ahead of you.